You're watching ABC 7 News at 4, starting with First Alert Weather.
And good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us here at ABC 7 News at 4. And we are looking at some very warm temperatures again today. High temperatures in the low 90s. That's right, heat index at about 100 degrees. Welcome to fall, right? Van Wezel webcam showing beautiful conditions out there in the water, and Sarasota Bay looking pretty good. We had a east wind throughout much of the day, east to southeast, some fair weather cumulus clouds moving overhead and starting to get a little bit of convection developing in some areas along west central Florida. Not a lot, but we'll look for a few passing showers through this evening. Not enough to cool us down. 87 right now. It feels like 96 out there. The humidity at 67% and the pressure 30.06 inches. Winds are fairly calm right now. Get a look at these temperatures across the state for that matter. 91 in Orlando, Tallahassee at 88 degrees. It's 92 in Sarasota, 1 degree cooler in Northport. With the sea breeze developing near Inglewood, it's 83 there. Cortez at 84 near the water with a water temperature at 85. Feels like 100 in Northport currently, 96 in Bradenton, and 97 in Mayaca City. Well, the radar picture is depicting a few showers down near Lee County. Also a couple starting to pop up in Sarasota County. So we can expect a brief shower or two, and these will continue to move off toward the west into the Gulf of Mexico. Not much rainfall, but as I mentioned, a few passing showers not out of the question. Some dry air still in place overhead. A frontal system is approaching. We'll talk about this cold front, and we'll also talk about another cold front headed our way in just a couple of days from now. But for the most part, this dry air is in place and will stay in place for a little while longer. And you can see this frontal boundary right there and then some drier air behind it. This dry air will thin out a little bit over the next 24 hours and head off to the east. And we'll talk about a storm system which promises to bring some cooler weather our way on Monday of next week. We'll talk all about that coming up in a few minutes. Jacqueline, Scott.
All right, Bob, thank you. Now to our top story. A new type of neighborhood watch is coming to the city of Northport. It's
a way for residents to not only be aware of safety in their community, but also how their neighbors are playing a role in protecting our environment. ABC 7's Rebecca Fernandez joins us live from Northport with how this new program would work. Rebecca?
Jacqueline, Scott, well, the city of Northport has about 85 miles of canal systems that all lead to the Gulf of Mexico. So the idea behind this Canal Watch Group is to make sure they have enough eyes and ears on mostly all of them. The Canal Watch Group will technically be under the Public Works Department, but will consist of all residents who choose to join. Aside from keeping tabs on safety and people or animals falling into the canals, these members will be educating their neighbors on how to minimize pollutants that go into these waters. Not only because of possible toxic algae forming, but because these canals are the city's main drinking water source. And tonight at 5:30, I'll tell you exactly how this Canal Watch Group will work and how you can get involved. For now, live in Northport, Rebecca Fernandez, ABC 7, your Suncoast News. Back to you guys.
Rebecca, thank you. More rescue crews with Sarasota County Emergency Management are headed to the Panhandle to relieve crews there that have been there since last week. These are photos of the first responders before they left for the Panhandle. 2 teams of fire engines and a strike team have been helping with 911 calls and rescues. Sarasota County's fire chief says there's still so much to be done. He says crews are prepared to continue to help as long as necessary.
Well, right now we're following the state emergency response plan. So as those requests come through, right now our teams have been asked to extend. So like I said, we're replacing our personnel, and so we'll go for another 7 to 10 days. Once that deployment goes through, we'll wait for another request from the state emergency response plan people, and we'll continue to do the effort as long as necessary. We are committed to assist those people in their time of need, and we'll go as long as we need to.
Those first crews will be back in Sarasota County tomorrow after a full week of responding to those in need. Other EMS departments are also currently in the Panhandle, including Manatee County Emergency Services. As many cities and counties are still without power and food, some businesses are concerned about looters. Officials in Albany, Georgia, are urging residents to be extra cautious as many people try to take advantage of others after devastating events like Michael. One county commissioner says he had to call the police about a break-in at his house after the storm. Law enforcement are doubling up their forces in the city and the county, trying to prevent those break-ins.
And we just want everybody to be as safe as possible. We don't need anybody out there after midnight and being carjacked or being robbed or running off the road to avoid a power line or even a tree snap off and fall on them. We still have concern for all those.
In the Florida Panhandle, some businesses have been accused of price gouging essential items like gasoline and water. That's according to Florida's Attorney General. It was a lucky day for some Florida police officers who recovered a stolen van filled with Krispy Kreme donuts. Clearwater Police posting photos on Facebook of officers standing in front of the van holding boxes of the tasty treats. The van loaded with the donuts was spotted in Clearwater yesterday afternoon. Facebook posting says the store manager donated the cargo to the officers. They saved some donuts to eat and then handed out the rest to the area's homeless. Authorities are still looking for the thief of that van. Jacqueline joins us now with more on a polio-like illness that's paralyzing children across the country.
Scott, the CDC is out with new numbers for a mysterious illness. They've confirmed 62 cases across 22 states. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says 127 cases are now under investigation. The medical name is acute flaccid myelitis, or AFM. More than 90% of the cases are in patients 18 or younger, with an average age of 4 years old. But despite its similarities to polio, there currently is no vaccine. Authorities are desperate to find a 13-year-old girl who they said was taken from her Wisconsin home where her parents were found murdered. As Maggie Ruley reports, the community is not giving up hope of finding Jamie Kloss alive.
A community lost.
Everyone's feeling very helpless right now.
Clinging to ribbons until authorities can bring home missing 13-year-old Jamie Kloss.
We are running a 24/7 operation, a 24-center command post. We have teams ready to respond at a moment's notice when a tip comes in.
More than 200 leads have come pouring in from across the country. The FBI and local investigators are following up on calls from as far away as Miami. But so far, there's no solid tips on the whereabouts of Jamie.
We have a 13-year-old girl who's vanished, and we need to get a hold of her to make sure she's okay.
She was last seen at a family gathering Sunday, when hours later, at about 1 a.m. Monday, a puzzling call from inside Jamie's home to 911.
The 911 call was given that night from the residence on a cell phone, but no contact was made with somebody that was on the other line. There was no one communicating with our dispatch.
When police responded to their house in rural Wisconsin, Jamie's parents were found dead inside. The teenager vanished. Investigators revealing few details about the crime scene, but saying they recovered bullet casings inside.
I heard one shot, and then the second shot was even louder yet.
Jamie's family is now left grieving her parents' death and anxiously awaiting news of the missing teen.
And Jamie's the sweetest little girl. She wouldn't hurt a soul.
And Jimmy's grandfather spoke to the AP. He said he was at that birthday party on Sunday and nothing seemed amiss. He said Jamie was as quiet and thoughtful as always. Maggie Ruley, ABC News, New York.
Secretary of State Mike Pompeo meeting with leaders from Saudi Arabia and Turkey to find out what happened to missing journalist Jamal Khashoggi. The Washington Post columnist was last seen entering the Saudi Arabia embassy in Istanbul on October 2nd. A source familiar with the investigation says Khashoggi might have been injected with some kind of tranquilizer and then died in the Saudi consulate. Pompeo says the U.S. will allow Turkey and Saudi Arabia time to complete their investigations into his disappearance.
I don't want to talk about any of the facts. They didn't want to either, in that they want to have the opportunity to complete this investigation in a thorough way.
Now, big political implications are at stake. Last year, the U.S. and Saudi governments entered into a $110 billion arms deal. President Trump says he wants to save that deal and may impose other consequences on Saudi Arabia if it did indeed play a role in Khashoggi's death. Well, let's send it back to Scott with more on a ruling to keep 3 amendment measures on this year's ballot. Scott?
Jacqueline, the state Supreme Court has overturned a decision to toss 3 proposed constitutional amendments off the November 6th ballot. Today's ruling means voters can still vote on Amendments 7, 9, and 11. Last month, the lower court ruled the amendment should be struck from the ballot because they bundled different issues. Amendment 7 would provide state university benefits for children of first responders who die on the job and requires a supermajority vote before university boards of trustees could raise fees. Amendment 9 would ban oil drilling in state waters and ban vaping in indoor workplaces. And Amendment 11 would remove language deemed obsolete from the state constitution. The race for Congress in the 16th Congressional District, one of the highest profile races in the country. Both candidates, incumbent Republican Vern Buchanan and Democratic challenger David Shapiro, will face off in their one and only debate next Tuesday, October 23rd, only here on ABC 7 at 7. If you'd like to submit a question, you can send your ideas to Alan Cohn at Alan M. Cohn on Twitter. Still to come, more roundabouts could be coming to some busy intersections in Manatee County, what areas the county is already considering. And we'll show you the 2,000-pound pumpkin that beat an old state record by nearly 200 pounds. And a man is riding his bicycle across America in an attempt to break a world record, and he's doing it all on one wheel. You know, fortunately, this was my first job out of college, so I was able to come back home and work in my hometown. I wore two hats. I was sports director and I was a news anchor. I did that for a few years and then decided to go full-time into news. Well, I love our team here at ABC 7. We have a great mix, and it really is a great mix of personalities, of experience that meshes really well into a really strong team. I'm Scott Dennis, and I'm here for you.
Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Make your holidays sparkle with style. Browse our amazing showroom, cute collectible cottages, and beautiful Christmas displays. Find the inspiration, selection, and quality you need to deck the halls merry and bright. Christmas Traditions also features the area's largest selection of quality pre-lit Christmas trees, every size, shape, and color, and plenty of decorations to make your home shine for the holidays. Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Visit us on New 301, just a quarter-mile north of University Parkway.
Rugs as Art. You know the name, you know the building, but do you know what's inside? Yes, Rugs as Art is Florida's #1 area rug superstore. But there is so much more. Amazing furniture, accessories, and art. All this and more. Come see for yourself. You'll love our personal touch and be pleasantly surprised by our affordable prices. Rugs as Art and more. There is so much more to explore.
Excuse me a minute. Hi, Dad. No, don't try to get up.
Hi, I'm Julie, a right-at-home caregiver. And if I'd been caring for Tom's dad, I would have noticed some dizziness that could lead to balance issues. That's because I'm trained to report any changes in behavior, no matter how small. So Tom could have peace of mind.
We'll be right there. We have to go.
Hey, Tom, you should try Right at Home. They're great for us.
The right care, right at home.
Sarasota Oxygen and CPAP is the largest locally owned CPAP supply company in the area. Is it time to replace your old equipment? The staff at Sarasota Oxygen and CPAP can show you the most up-to-date CPAP equipment and supplies to meet your sleep apnea needs, including portable travel devices and the SoClean automatic CPAP sanitizer. We serve all of Southwest Florida, giving the highest quality of care with the finest CPAP equipment. Please visit our website, sarasotacpap.com.
Recovery from mental and substance use disorders is real. You can recover. It's possible. It happens every day.
Never give up on yourself.
Discover hope and help. The world is a beautiful place again. Join the Voices for Recovery. For confidential information for mental and substance use disorders, call 1-800-662-HELP.
Manatee County Commissioners are brainstorming ways to alleviate traffic on both Lakewood Ranch Boulevard and Honore Avenue. ABC 7's Jackie Kelly talked with the commissioner and tells us what was discussed. Jackie?
Scott, I'm here in front of Cooper Creek Boulevard and Honore Avenue. Now, this is just one of the intersections that was talked about by county commissioners and Public Works at yesterday's workshop. Now I'm told that Public Works created graphics at a few intersections along Lakewood Ranch Boulevard and Honore Avenue to see if roundabouts could be put in to help. Now a commissioner tells me that FDOT says roundabouts are safe alternatives in traffic situations. However, they do cost a lot of money to put in. Now nothing was decided at yesterday's workshop, but commissioners have asked staff to come back with more details on how an improvement plan could work and how it could be funded. And at 6, you can hear from those county commissioners, and they'll talk about what they're doing to help alleviate these traffic issues. Back to you.
All right, Jackie, thank you. Let's get to Jacqueline now in the newsroom for a look at what's trending today.
Scott, all hail the wheelie king. Kurt Osborne is pulling a wheelie across America to try and break a world record. The record he's trying to break is actually his very own. In 1999, he completed the trek in 74 days, landing his name in the Guinness Book of World Records. For the latest attempt, the 49-year-old will make use of a wind-resistant plexiglass trailer. He's hoping to beat his previous feat by pulling off the 2,900-mile journey in just 45 days. Well, of course, we all know fall is here, not so much here on the Sun Coast, but large pumpkins are everywhere. In Minnesota, farmers pitted their biggest crops against one another at this year's Harvest Fest. The winner set a state record with a staggering 2,091-pound pumpkin. In Illinois, this 1,500-pound monster pumpkin nabbed a blue ribbon for the biggest in that state. And that is a lot of pumpkin right up my alley because I love everything with pumpkin spice. Well, finally, check out this close call that happened on a Florida interstate. The driver of this vehicle is lucky to be alive after a large piece of plywood impaled her windshield. Authorities say the board flew off the back of a pickup truck, slicing its way through the Honda's windshield. The driver suffered only minor injuries, surprisingly, and refused medical treatment at the scene. The truck driver, however, was cited for faulty equipment. Scary situation there. Well, beachgoers on Daytona Beach got quite the show yesterday when a small plane crashed into the Atlantic Ocean. Lifeguards pulled the one person that was on board safely to shore. Rescuers then went back, tied a rope near the plane's cabin, and used a jet ski to actually tow it back to shore. The pilot was treated and taken to a hospital. There's no word yet what caused the crash. The Coast Guard did say nothing from that plane leaked into the water. Well, let's send it back to Scott in the studio for a look at today's consumer news.
Jacqueline, Facebook is facing accusations it knew about problems with the way it measured viewers of video ads for a year before they were made public. That's from a lawsuit filed against Facebook by a group of small advertisers. They say Facebook knowingly overestimated the amount of time that users watched those ads. Lyft is taking its monthly subscription experiment nationwide. The ride-hailing company launched its all-access plan. Riders with this subscription pay $299 every month for 30 rides worth up to $15 each. That's a savings of up to $5 per ride. Now, if a ride costs more, the rider would pay the difference. Lyft has been tinkering with subscriptions since earlier this year. Now let's get back to Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan for more on our hot weather out there.
Hot it is indeed, Scott. Near the beaches, though, not too terribly bad right now. Holmes Beach webcam. Good news, a lot of people out there, again, for many days in a row now, enjoying the water and enjoying no red tide at this point. Now, there are some areas that are reporting some samples of red tide, but right now, looking at the Holmes Beach webcam right there, looking pretty good out in the water. I know I was all throughout the Sarasota Bay today, and it was fairly nice. No hint of red tide at all. There's a hint of a cold front to the north of us right now. This front is going to eventually get close to us on Thursday. It will eventually bring in some slightly cooler air. That's all we can hope for right now, just slightly cooler. And looks like shower activity is going to be minimal. We'll see a few scattered showers. We're seeing that right now. In fact, you can see this line of showers starting to pop up here. Very weak, very light because of some dry air in the upper levels of the atmosphere, not allowing for any widespread rainfall event. But once again, a few storms well offshore and out into the western Gulf of Mexico. Quite a bit of rainfall there heading off toward Texas and Mexico. Our temperatures tonight will stay unseasonably warm up until 11 o'clock, 80 degrees. And we'll have generally fair skies after, say, 9, 10 o'clock tonight. You can see that front starting to march to the south now and then eventually off toward the southwest. As far as we're concerned, we're not anticipating a lot of rainfall with it. It will bump that high-pressure ridge out. You'll notice a few showers along the east coast, clear skies throughout the mid-Atlantic coast and the Tennessee Valley as high-pressure builds in and kind of forces this front down to the south. It'll get close to us by Thursday evening and then eventually fade away. So it won't cool us down all that much, just a little bit cooler as far as temperatures go on Friday and into Saturday. It looks like another cold front moves through late Sunday or early Monday, and that will chill us out just a little bit as well. We'll be in the 60s, I think, by Tuesday morning. As far as temperatures go, upper 80s to near 90 degrees once again. So yes, the heat is on. It will stay with us tomorrow. Looking at that temperature forecast for lows, we'll start off in the mid 70s on Thursday. We'll warm up quickly, though, into the upper 80s to low 90s with the heat index once again near 100. No relief in sight yet. And then as we move through Friday morning, once again, just a little bit cooler for low temperatures. There'll be some 60s over the panhandle, 79 at Daytona Beach, and then high temperatures on Friday will be into the mid to upper 80s as opposed to the low 90s. So as I said, just a little bit cooler anticipated on Friday afternoon. Well, the water vapor content showing some pretty dry air around right now. That is thinning out just a little bit to the east of the Bahamas. There's that mess I mentioned in the western Gulf of Mexico. That is pushing toward Mexico. It's a little left over from that tropical disturbance we were watching. Not much to it right now, just a lot of rain. It's generally moving off to the north-northwest at 10 to 15, expected to bring some flooding concerns into Mexico and possibly South Texas. 87 degrees right now, heat index at 96. And as far as that front goes, there's not much southward progression of it at this point. But as I mentioned, it will start to shift a little bit off to the south tomorrow. Flood watches and flood warnings in effect for south central Texas. And temperatures for highs tomorrow fall across most of the U.S. Temperatures in the 60s throughout the central U.S. 50s highs tomorrow in Chicago and also Detroit. 52 there. 49 for high in Cleveland. For us, the same old summer-like weather. Low 90s expected. For boaters tomorrow, winds will be rather light. We'll have a light chop out there. Winds out of the northeast at 10 knots and turning to the northwest late in the day. The extended forecast then, 20% chance for some rain. Notice the slightly cooler temperatures is all we can really squeeze out of this front. Temperatures in the mid-80s on Saturday and Sunday. But notice these 60s come Monday morning, Tuesday morning. More confident with this 60 right here. 84 for a high. That looks nice. 40% chance for showers on Tuesday. Be sure to download our ABC7 First Alert weather app. You can have all the stories that we push out there as far as what's going on with our weather nationally and locally, as well as tracking storms. I know we're going to need it this winter, and you're going to need it too, because I think we're going to see a pretty active severe thunderstorm winter due to the El Nino that's in effect right now.
We've seen it in years past,
yeah,
haven't we? All right. Well, after days of area-wide rain that totaled more than a foot, a state of emergency has been issued for 18 central Texas counties. Llano County officials remain on high alert a day after the Llano River reached near historic heights and set off a series of evacuations for multiple cities. At least one person died in the flooding yesterday. County officials say the Llano River level is dropping now, but it is still not clear how long it will last, with a little more rain expected.
And first responders are actively searching for people in need of help, and road and bridge crews are out on the roadways assessing the damage from the floods on the roads that remain closed. People who were evacuated before and during the height of the flooding have to wait, obviously, before re-entering their homes because the structures have to be evaluated first.
Yeah, all right. Thank you, Bob. Still to come, your marathon trips to Disney are nothing compared to what a couple in Tennessee is doing today, how they plan to tackle 6 parks in one day.
I'm Linda Carson from Suncoast View. Coming up Thursday morning live at 9, we meet the local celebrities competing for the Mirror Ball in this weekend's Can Dance. Learn about the community services Can provides and get a dance lesson. Learn how to keep that cool air flowing in your house, and Green Path Veterans Farms is in the kitchen. That's coming up tomorrow morning live at 9.
32, Blue 32, hot, hot. It's the Gatto Gridiron Challenge. The game's on to sell 2,000 vehicles. 12 teams compete for the #1 spot. Score a great deal at every Gatto dealership. Buy with 0 down. Make no payments for 90 days. Choose from 14 of your favorite brands, all on sale. Who will make it to the end zone? You decide. Rush to a Gatto location near you or visit Gatto.com.
Gattle's got it. I used to dread getting up and going to work.
I was done with the corporate grind.
I was tired of being a starving artist.
And I started looking around for a business that I believed in, and I kind of wanted to do something a little more green.
My SCORE mentor helped me take the first step.
He helped me create a business plan and helped me implement it.
They've really taught me how to think big.
SCORE helped me to make the unimaginable possible, all for free. I'm here because of SCORE.
I'm here because of SCORE.
Get your free business mentor at score.org.
Your last chance for 2018 Honda Accords on sale is now during our model year-end sale. Drive new Accords for just $249 a month. Get an Accord, the North American car of the year, for less than the competition. With more standard features than Camry, Honda Sensing, multi-angle camera, turbocharged engine, and more. New Accords, just $249 a month. Your last chance for Accords, all on sale this week at your local Honda dealer.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day?
With guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call. TruStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
And even if you're on a fixed income, prices fit your budget, starting at less than 32 cents a day. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease. And with no medical tests or health questions, you cannot be turned down for any reason. Call 1-800-842-7189. Now, for a free, no-obligation quote, TruStage offers plans to fit your budget. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage. Call 1-800-842-7189 now.
Imagine a world filled with pillow fights, playgrounds, and the search for the perfect climbing tree. Every kid deserves that world, but 1 in 5 kids in America struggle with hunger. At No Kid Hungry, we're committed to creating a world where every kid eats healthy food every day. We raise funds, we help families, and we lift up communities.
Find out first at 4 with ABC 7 News at 4. Weekdays on ABC 7.
A Tennessee couple plans to visit 6 Disney parks on 2 U.S. coasts in only one day. Today, Heather and Clark Ensminger are visiting Disney World's 4 theme parks in Orlando, then taking a cross-country plane ride, and then ending the night at Disney's 2 California parks. They say they're armed with a spreadsheet showing what time they need to be at each park. Right now, they're flying from Orlando to Los Angeles, that flight leaving just a short time ago, and they plan to be in California Adventure by 8 o'clock this evening, then hit up Disneyland before it closes at midnight, and they will be exhausted for sure. Let's get now to Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan for a final look at our evening forecast.
Looking pretty good tonight for your beach walk. Mostly fair skies. A slight chance for a few passing showers. We'll have a west wind, which will turn to the east, just after sunset. And looks like a sunset coming right at sharp 7 o'clock. Norm Schimmel getting this photo last night, which was beautiful. Current conditions, we have 87 degrees. Feels like 96 out there. And the winds are calm. A few showers down to our south right now. We're starting to see a few pop up near Rotunda and Placida. That activity also near Punta Gorda. So this is a little sign of some showers that we will see through this evening, scattered about, especially over South Sarasota County. And we're starting to see a few pop up as well near Manatee. Scott?
Bob, thank you. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again at 5 o'clock.